There's something quietly intriguing about people who genuinely enjoy being alone. Not in a lonely or withdrawn way, but in a way that feels intentional and peaceful, as if solitude is a gentle space where they can finally breathe at their own pace. If you pay close attention, you begin to notice that they share certain interesting traits that set them apart in subtle, meaningful ways. One of the most noticeable qualities is their comfort with silence. They do not rush to fill every quiet moment with conversation, scrolling, or background noise. Instead, they allow silence to exist around them and within them without feeling uneasy. For them, quiet is not empty, it is spacious. People who like to be alone often develop a strong sense of self-awareness. Spending time in solitude naturally creates room for reflection. Without constant outside influence, they learn to listen to their own thoughts more carefully. They begin to understand what truly matters to them, what drains their energy, and what brings them peace. This inner clarity shapes their decisions. They may not always explain themselves in detail, but their choices tend to come from a grounded, thoughtful place, rather than impulse or pressure. Another shared trait is the richness of their inner world. Because they're comfortable being alone, their minds have space to wander and explore. They think deeply about experiences, conversations, and ideas. They may replay moments in their head, searching for meaning or insight. Many of them are naturally creative, not necessarily in loud or dramatic ways, but in how they approach problems, imagine possibilities, or see connections others might miss. Solitude gives their imagination room to stretch. There is also a quiet emotional resilience that grows in people who appreciate being alone. When you spend time by yourself, you inevitably face your emotions more directly. You cannot always distract yourself with company. Over time, this teaches patience with emotions. They learn that discomfort does not need to be escaped immediately. Sadness, confusion, even loneliness can be acknowledged and understood. This builds a calm strength, a steady ability to sit with what is real. Interestingly, many of them are deeply empathetic. Because they spend time understanding their own emotions, they often recognize those emotions in others with surprising accuracy. They tend to listen more than they speak. They notice subtle details in tone or body language. Their social circles may be smaller, but their connections are usually meaningful and sincere. They value depth over surface-level interaction. Independence is another common trait. They do not rely heavily on constant validation or attention to feel secure. They can motivate themselves, comfort themselves, and enjoy their own company. This creates a quiet confidence that does not need to be displayed loudly. It is simply there, steady and calm. In a world that constantly pushes noise and connection, people who like to be alone remind us that solitude can be restorative. It can be a place of clarity, creativity, and emotional growth. Being alone for them is not isolation. It is a choice to slow down, to reflect, and to reconnect with themselves in a way that feels deeply, quietly fulfilling.